Everyone stop what you're doing right now and listen to this. You're welcome. It's crazy to think how we're at a point now where there's heavy nostalgia for the Wii Sports era of Nintendo. Now you might be thinking, but wait a minute, Wii Sports is basically still a new game. How is there nostalgia for it already? N64 and GameCube games, now those are real nostalgia games. And I don't blame you for thinking like that, but my rebuttal would be that I got this game along with my Wii on the Christmas of 2009 when I was 6 years old. I am now a sophomore in college. I'm sorry. Now, I don't want to sit here and act like the Wii Sports nostalgia is recent. It's been a part of meme culture for a few years now with its iconic catchy tunes and whatnot, but for me personally, as someone who's currently going through a major transition in their life, right now is when the nostalgia is heaviest. This was a delightful little game that was such a big part of my childhood. I loved playing this game with my family. It was one of the few pieces of entertainment we could all agree on. I loved playing with my friends at sleepovers and stuff. It was such a simple little experience, but it was so much fun, and it is now ingrained in the hearts of Gen Zers across the globe. If you clicked on this video, you're likely also feeling the Wii generation nostalgia. So sit back, relax, and let's get stuck in the past together as we talk about one of the most important games to ever exist. This game was such a cultural phenomenon, I don't even know how to put it into words. Wii Sports is one of the best-selling games of all time, with 82 million units sold. Now that number can be a bit misleading because it came bundled in with the majority of Wii consoles, but I don't think that discredits how many units Wii Sports moved. This game was the reason the Wii was so successful in the first place because it was the perfect pack-in title. It encapsulated what the Wii was so well. People saw the commercials of people swinging the Wii remote to swing a tennis racket and pretending to bowl a bowling ball, and it was so appealing to most of the population. On top of looking like something that was new, exciting, and of course just plain fun, it was so easily understandable, even to people that don't play video games. Do you think the general population looked at all the crazy web swinging and Miles Morales and thought, that looks like something I could do, where can I buy a PS5? I do think the Wii still would have been successful even if it only had Twilight Princess at launch, but stuffing a copy of Wii Sports in the box pushed it to cultural phenomenon status. Since the Wii was the first Nintendo home console I ever owned, I remember thinking it was normal for Nintendo to have a game bundled in with their system, but as we know, that's not true. The last time they did that was with Mario's Tennis and the Virtual Boy in 1995. Keep in mind I'm talking pack-in games, not special bundles they sold as deals. People went absolutely bonkers for the Wii at launch. I wasn't old enough to, be aware of my surroundings when the Wii launched. I was like 3 years old back in 2006, so I wasn't really there to feel it, but the Wii hype was insane. The Wii was one of the hardest consoles ever to snag around launch. This was back before the era of sitting at your computer all day and smashing the refresh button over and over again to try and grab a console. People all over the world were camping out in front of Walmarts and Best Buys, and sometimes retailers would be sold out before the store even opened because they had to start selling units to people outside just to cope with the crowds. All of this hype because people needed to get their hands on Wii Sports, so let's talk about the game itself now. The main draw of Wii Sports was of course those motion controls. This was the Wii's entire gimmick, and this little pack-in game fully embraced that gimmick. The controls are so simple and easily accessible to anyone. Just swing the remote to perform an action on screen. Pair that with well-understood sports like tennis and baseball, and you have yourself a recipe for a game that'll be a hit with the masses. The center of Wii Sports is the Wii Remote and its accelerometer that enables the motion controls. The accelerometer gets the job done. In the early days of Wii advertising, Nintendo made the Wii Remote look super advanced, but in reality, with only an accelerometer, the Wii Remote can't detect much more than when you shake the Wii Remote and which direction you shook it in. It's not like it's being constantly tracked in a 3D space or anything. It's fine for simple games like Wii Sports, but it can be kinda hard to go back to now that we have Wii Sports Resort and Club, which use the Wii Motion Plus that adds a gyroscope and actually does track in a 3D space, more or less. I think Wii Sports does a pretty decent job covering up the limitations of the Wii Remote, though. A lot of the sports inside revolve around timing more than anything else. For example, in tennis, the time at which you swing the Wii Remote determines the trajectory of the ball. At least that's how it works from my understanding. The sports are quite basic, but strangely addicting, so let's get into those now. Wii Sports contains 5 sports: tennis, baseball, bowling, golf, and boxing. Now you might wonder why some major sports were excluded from this package. Where's football? Where's basketball? Where's toe wrestling? The answer is because simplicity and accessibility are the names of the game here. Football's a complex sport, not everyone knows how to play. However, any dumb fucking moron can hit a ball with a stick. Beyond needing sports that were more universally understood, they also had to be ones that could translate well to the game's motion controls. I think they made the right choices with these 5. Let's start with tennis, one of the most basic ones. I would call this one the most satisfying one of the package. There's something so pleasant about whacking the tennis ball and you get this lovely little sound effect out of the Wii Remote speaker. You also don't have to think much with this game. Tennis is the type of game where you can just completely zone out and forget your surroundings. It's like I'm stuck in a trance when I play this game. It's the ultimate comfort food game. You do have to start strategizing a bit more as you battle more advanced CPUs, but for the most part, you won't be sweating too much as you play this game. I also want to add that this game suffers a bit without the gyroscope. It can be hard sometimes to get the racket to swing in the right direction. Tennis handles like a dream in Wii Sports Club because of the Wii Motion Plus. It's so much better. The Wii version is still good though. Everyone knows baseball sucks ass and was never meant to be unironically enjoyed by humans. Nintendo had the grueling task of making their version of the game fun and exciting. This one might be my favorite. It's between baseball and bowling. One of my favorite aspects of this game is how you get to see all your different Miis that you created in the Mii channel. Other sports like bowling would have them in the background, but in baseball, you get to play with or against them. It's like the ultimate crossover. You'll have all your friends and family, your pets, random wacky creations, fictional characters. I think that this is the most underrated aspect of all the Wii series of games. I love the beginning of the sport where it goes down the line of all the Miis that were randomly selected and you're like, who am I playing against? Who's on my team? Aw shit, Steven's on my team? I gotta restart. Wii Baseball is basically a simplified version of baseball. It's divided into 2 sections, pitching and batting, where you swing the Wii Remote as if you're pitching or batting. You don't have any control over running the bases or catching the ball, it's all done automatically. Also, this game feels great. I know I said at the beginning that Wii Sports can be kinda hard to go back to with the primitive motion controls, but this barely applies to baseball at all. It works just fine without the gyroscope. This game is more about timing than anything. In the tutorial, it advises you to swing the Wii Remote just like a baseball bat, but that's mostly just for immersion. Your form doesn't matter too much. You can sorta just swing it however you want, and as long as you time it well, you can still score a touchdown. Bowling, my second love, functions just like a real game of bowling. Unlike other sports like baseball, it doesn't feel like a watered down version. It just feels like a motion controlled video game of bowling. This is the one I hear people talk about the most, and is the one I saw the most in meme culture. It was probably the most popular, and for good reason. The motion you use to bowl the bowling ball feels very similar to how you do it in real life. If you throw it just right, you actually get a little bit of feedback in the controller, and the ball will roll a little faster. And of course, I'm obligated to bring up the fact that if you swing the ball backwards, the Miis do a little jump and scream. As if they just watched someone get punched in the balls, or I don't know, watched a... There's also golf. It's fine, it's golf. I played golf in high school, wasn't very good at it. You swing the Wii Remote as if you're, you guessed it, swinging a golf club. I had more of an appreciation for this one back when I was actually playing golf regularly. It's probably pretty good if you're into this sort of thing. I do have some problems with it though. I don't like how sensitive the controls are. If you swing too hard, this meter will turn red and you lose control of the ball. But I swear I'm giving this thing a love tap and the ball's just like, see ya bitch, haha! Like I said, it's perfectly fine, but I'd much rather play Mario Golf or something. Lastly, there's boxing, and this one's pretty solid. The motion controls aren't the greatest in my experience. For one, I think the motions are a little too advanced for what the Wii Remote is capable of. Also, this is the one and only game that requires the nunchuck, and the nunchuck has even worse motion controls than a standard Wii Remote, so a lot of the punches with my left hand don't register properly. But other than that, I really enjoy Wii Boxing. It makes you work up quite the sweat compared to the other sports. It's a lot more physically demanding. Wii Boxing is also the one that requires the most skill in my opinion. Between the blocking and the dodging and trying to throw the right punch at the right time, Wii Boxing has the most strategy involved. And there you go, that covers all 5 sports. All of them have plenty of fun to bring to the table and were great picks that worked well with the Wii's hardware. But what if you need a way to practice? That's where the training mode comes in. Each sport has 3 different specialty modes like hitting a target in tennis or dodging balls in boxing and a home run contest in baseball. These modes help add a bit more meat to the Wii Sports package. Wii Sports is basically a tech demo at the end of the day, but having extra modes can help it feel like a little bit more. They also have the Wii Fitness Test, which is basically a series of challenges based around the different sports, and based on how well you do, the game will determine your Wii Fitness age. It's obviously not supposed to be taken seriously at all. The only sport that is capable of working up a sweat is boxing, but it's kinda fun to try to lower your age as you get better and better at the game. I love Wii Sports. I think I've made that pretty clear. It was great for what it was, and I have a ton of nostalgia for it. However, there is a pretty substantial group of ancient gamers that have some serious criticisms for this game, a lot of which is valid, and some of it, Wii Sports was the birth of what some will call a dark age of Nintendo. Most people will say it started with the Wii U, but others will trace it all the way back to the Wii. This is for two reasons. For one, the success of Wii Sports and the Wii started a trend of motion-controlled gaming. I mean, that was kind of the whole point of the Wii, but a lot of games had motion controls forced into places that didn't need them. Second, it started a trend of casual-oriented gaming. We saw a lot less of the big, sprawling adventures that we have on current consoles like the Switch, because instead we got games that were focused on the general population and were less ambitious. I agree with these criticisms to a certain extent. I think Nintendo took all the wrong lessons from the Wii, which would go on to doom the Wii U generation, because they thought that having only games that appealed to casuals was the formula for a successful console. But the Wii library was really solid in my opinion. It had a nice mix of the fun casual stuff and plenty of stuff for the core Nintendo crowd. Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy 2, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, Mario Kart Wii, Metroid Prime 3, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Animal Crossing City Folk, Punch-Out!, not to mention plenty of others like ports of Pikmin 1 and 2, Metroid Prime Trilogy, Donkey Kong Country Returns. I really don't see the issue here. Some of these titles may have gotten dragged down a little by the forced motion controls, but some of them like Metroid and Pikmin were thriving with them. Lastly, we got all these games on top of the fun casual stuff like Wii Sports and Wii Play. The Wii's library was great, we got the best of both worlds with it. It really pisses me off hearing all these fucking real gamers saying stuff like, "You like Wii Sports? Wow, this new generation of gamers is so soft. I grew up on Metroid, and I beat it without a guide because I'm the realest gamer ever." Alright, first off, holy shit, go take a shower. Maybe touch a girl afterwards. My friends tell me all the time it's pretty fun. Consensually, of course. Second of all, come on. You had at least a little fun with Wii Sports. I know you did. Alright, I may have gotten a little off topic there, but basically what I was trying to say was just because Nintendo started making some bad choices doesn't mean Wii Sports should be hated for simply existing. Wii Sports is a fantastic game for what it was. It wasn't trying to swing for the fences with a huge, ambitious sports title with countless sports and super deep mechanics with loads of strategy. It's just a simple little pack-in minigame collection that you can just unwind with, and not think too much as you play. If you find some good buddies to play with, then you'll have yourself one hell of an afternoon. It can get pretty competitive with the boys, let me tell you. I do think its success hurt Nintendo in the long run. Some games that didn't need motion controls had them forced in because Nintendo thought people loved them in all scenarios. But on its own, it was a great experience. Even though the motion control fad died a long time ago, I still find myself booting it up to this day. Despite not having a lot of content, it's just fun. I don't know what else to say about it, so farewell, my friends.